Hello, welcome to the Beyond the Questions podcast, because every great conversation starts with a question. We're having real conversations about life with life coaches, and we are anticipating another great episode. So get ready and let's get started.
Well, welcome everybody back to Beyond the Questions. Thanks for tuning in again this week. It is an honor to be here with you and to be with these other coaches as we dig in to another topic that I think probably affects more of our lives than we are actually honest about. We'll take a quick minute though before we dive into that and just give everybody a chance to say hello and quickly introduce yourself. So who wants to go first? Go ahead, Ericka.
I am Ericka, and I am a transformational coach. My mission is to support women who have experienced trauma by coaching them and helping them through grief, healing, relationship challenges, and personal growth, to provide a safe base for them to walk through these challenges. A lot of these women don't have security or safety, not a lot of trust, and potentially an unsupportive community. So as a woman who has experienced this kind of trauma, I chose to educate myself and get my coaching certification to be able to help these women who need to walk through this and be alongside of them to provide that compassionate kind of support.
All right, I'll go. So, hi, everyone. I'm Kellie. I am the founder and what I like to call Chief Pivot Officer of Purposeful Pivot, and I am a midlife women's transition coach. And so what I do is I help accomplish women who may be experiencing corporate or professional burnout, or any kind of burnout for that matter, transition to their what's next with some clarity and purpose in life. And I do that through one-on-one coaching, group coaching, retreats, and just building a community for women to explore new things in life.
I'm TQ. I run TQ Coaching Solutions, and what we do at TQ Coaching Solutions is really help you if you've got some sort of goal or vision. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. Let's say you are a creator, or you've got these innovative ideas that you're trying to get out there, but you just keep getting stuck. Maybe it's by self-doubt, fear, inaction maybe in the play. We want to help you get through those. And so that's our whole thing, to help you walk through those things that are just getting in the way. So that's what I do.
Hey, well, it's great to be here with each one of you. Thanks for tuning in. And so my name is Jason Roten, Jason Roten Coaching. One of the things that I spend a lot of time doing are helping organizations build healthy cultures. I do that through emotional intelligence coaching. And that can benefit your organization or your personal life and relationships in a variety of ways. But that's one of the main things that I get a lot of life from doing as we walk through this. So, all right, guys. So before we get into the serious stuff today, I have a kind of fun question to start off today with. And it's, what's one thing, completely ordinary thing, that feels like a small victory when you complete it as an adult? And by way of example, I'll share that my small victory. So my family, we eat more meals in front of the TV together than we do at the dining room table together. But my small victory is when I go to sit on the couch and I don't have to move the laundry first to be able to sit down and watch TV, right? Like, we're great at getting it washed. We're great at getting it dried. We're not so great at folding it. So there's 2 extra cushions on our couch than we have people, but often it's like shoving the pile or stacking it up. So my small victory is when I can eat dinner and not have to move laundry first. So curious if there's anything like that for you guys.
Could piggyback right off of that one. It's just like when all the laundry is folded and I don't have to move the pile, irregardless, because, I've just moved. So I'm not really sure where this, setting is going to be. But The other day, I think I moved it on and off my bed, it wasn't just one day, because I put it on my bed so that it's like, okay, before I go to bed, I will fold this. Then by the time bedtime rolls around, I'm like, nope, taking it back off.
I learned a long time ago I'm never going to fold it that night, so there's no point in putting it on the bed.
I hear that. I'd love to get at the end of my emails. Majority of them are trash anyway. They're just junk. And so, but hundreds to thousands of emails I've got to get through. And when it's all clear for those 2 minutes, that feels amazing.
2 minutes. Wow. What's mine? Well, I'd say a big victory for me is if I can eat my meal and not end it with a dessert because I'm a total chocoholic or addicted to sugar or something. So if I can actually get through a meal without eating a dessert, I'm very happy with myself. But it takes
Nice.
much restraint for
Is that
sure.
all meals, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Protein bar that has chocolate in it. And
Yes, so it
then
is dessert.
so kinda, and then, lunch, I always have to have a snack after and dinner, especially because then it's night and I'm tired, and so then I go right for whatever's around. Yes. So it's an issue. It's maybe one of these podcasts we'll just dedicate to my sugar addiction.
It's awesome.
I'm going to be of no help because I'll dive into some chocolate chip cookies like nobody's business. All right. So taking that kind of fun, the small things that matter, is there something this past week, something that happened, something somebody said that might have been a small moment, but it meant a lot to you? Maybe it can be in the last 2 weeks.
Well, I will go. This last week, I was very, very sick. And my friend, she brought me over some soup. And she even told me, this is so small. And I had tears. And I told her, this is not small. It's huge. I was sweating a lot. And she's like, you need a salty, bowl of soup. And she homemade some sausage soup. And it was just fantastic. And it even though it might seem small, it was just really amazing.
So I don't know when our listeners are listening to this episode, but we're recording this episode right before I eat dinner. And now we've talked about soup and candy. And all I want to do is finish this recording so we can go have dinner because I'm hungry all of a sudden.
I got a couple of texts from, my wife and I got a couple of texts from our son that was just kind of out of the blue and was kind of thanking us for doing the parenting thing. And so that meant a ton. So, yeah.
Well, and then mine, we all are talking about other people. So I had a woman that was going to some big networking event and it was in another woman's home. So it was just very intimate, like 20 people around a table. And she invited me because she thought I would be, provide value to the conversation. And I got to go to this dinner and we got stuck in so much traffic. We were an hour late to this dinner, but the whole drive and the traffic was the most fun part because I got to know this woman a lot better. It made my week.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's amazing how those small things that people do or say, or those moments that we get to spend together, just create a connection, create a space where we feel like we're not alone, we're not isolated, and there's people around us that are going to walk through life with us. So if I was going to look at that from another perspective, has there ever been a time you've felt alone? And by that, I don't mean like physically alone. You might be in a large crowd of people, but you realized in that crowd, I'm all alone. And how did you experience that? What did that do to your inner conversation? Anything you want to share around that moment? Go ahead, Ericka. With that face, we're going to take it.
The
For
hand
those that
raise
can't
is-
see this, we had a little hand
Just
raise
raise
going
your
up.
hand.
Yes.
Slow motion hand raise.
Also, for those of you who can't see, Ericka, I am very disappointed that there's no snake that you could raise when you wanted to talk. You had to raise your hand. So I'm just
Okay,
saying.
well, next time I'll make sure to put him in a drawer so that when I just want to, pull him out, then I'll be like, oh, he's not there, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, our listeners need to know that Ericka has a plethora of animals. And so, anyway, we're always wondering what we might see.
Yeah, ever
You
know.
guys don't know. I might even have something new. We'll save that for later. Well, I did raise my hand because when you're going through marriage betrayal and then a divorce, this happens all the time. Like I can think, Thanksgiving, family events, even sometimes just at like the grocery store. I am surrounded by people, whether they know what I've gone through or don't know what I've gone through. It's just different. And even though I may have been at the grocery store one time alone by myself and I was fine, but maybe I pass a couple or maybe something triggers it. But sometimes I even have to stop and then work through them all. And I feel very alone in that moment. Or sitting at Thanksgiving surrounded by my family, I just want to like zone out. I don't want to be there, but I want to be there because I feel alone.
It is amazing how you can be surrounded by people and yet no one knows what's going on inside. Like for me, it's more of a it was more of a corporate setting. Like I knew I was kind of trying to figure my way out of corporate, but just hadn't done it yet. And so, I'm at these big events or big parties or conferences and you're surrounded by people and everybody's laughing and having a good time, and I'm laughing on the outside, but nobody knows that on the inside, I'm like, I can't be here anymore. I need to find my way out of this. I don't know how. And so you feel like you're the only one in the room that is having these feelings
Hmm.
and you just feel lost even though you're in a huge crowd of people.
I hear that. The loneliest, I don't know if it was the loneliest, but a profound lonely time for me was back in college. I went to a small university in Arkansas called Harding University. Mm. I was a track athlete. I was often asked to speak, student leader, just well known. But I was also dealing with some racial tensions that my now wife, but girlfriend at the time, we were trying to work through. And I could say hello, see all these people and wave, and they would say, "Hi, Twan, how you doing?" But nobody really, I felt like people knew about me, but I didn't feel known. And so I found myself really lonely, even to the point where I prayed for God to send me some friends, which he did, which was cool. Some of the best friends I have that I've got over a lifetime. That was a time where, if you just looked at my life on campus, you thought, man, that guy's got it together. And I was pretty lonely.
It's this loneliness epidemic that we live in is honestly terrifying because we all just talked about the little things that people did in the last week. A text message, a reach out, a car ride, and we know how important that is. But so often, so many of us find ourselves completely isolated or lonely, and the health benefits or the health detriments of being isolated and alone are terrifying. Loneliness has the same health, long-term loneliness has the same health consequences as smoking 17 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. It will shorten your life. It leads to heart disease. And yet we live in this ever busy, ever fast paced, technology driven time. And with all of these ways to stay connected, I think a lot of us feel alone sometimes, or more times than maybe we'd want to admit. And that's in our personal lives, in our professional lives. So have you guys encountered clients, friends, family who struggle with this kind of stuff? And what do you say to them in those moments?
When I'm coaching them through these moments, I generally ask either how they would like to change it, what they would like to do to change it. And sometimes we have to sit there for a while they figure it out.
I don't know. I think, like you said, I think a lot of it's technology and social media. You think you're being social, so maybe internally, you think, oh, I have all these friends, I'm social. But in actuality, do you even know half those people? So I feel like you kind of have to take a step back and get off a lot of that, maybe, and put yourself out there so you can meet other people in person. Because nothing competes with actually having in-person conversation with others. But enjoy, I think you have to take some steps and join in with groups or whatever that might get you out of your comfort zone, but you have to do it.
Yeah. And you said put yourself out there, Kelly, which I do think that's right. I think some of the loneliness is that we're really scared to do just that because a lot of what we present to the world is our polished self, that, says, hey, I've got it together. I'm doing all the things. And when people, even though we're hurting deep inside, no one really knows that. And we're kind of scared to, one, let people actually see it because we're not really sure how they're going to respond. And then when we do, sometimes we're even wondering, well, what does that say about me? If I risk them knowing the real me, are they, am I just exposing how messed up I am as opposed to am I leaning into maybe find a friend and journey with someone together, So it really depends. When you say put yourself out there, it's a vulnerable state to kind of
Hmm.
take yourself and go, okay, I'm going to try to connect with this person and see how it goes.
Yeah, have you
It,
guys ever seen the blue zones? Did you ever watch that or looked at that study? It's like the healthiest cities in the world
Oh, yes.
I think there's like 7 blue zones, and they analyzed what made these people live the longest, and one of them was community, and that every single one of these 7 cities, they all lived in communities with other people, and daily lives, they were surrounded by people, and that was a sign of longevity. So it's definitely a proven fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes me back to, did you guys read the book? And I'm probably going to butcher it because I'm horrible at pronunciations, but Ikigai or Ikigai?
Yeah, Ikigai.
Yeah. So it
Love that.
talks about those blue zones. It's Okinawa, Japan, kind of, which just made me think Karate Kid. That'll date me. But about how these people come together in community, and they have something they do even past retirement that gives them their life purpose. But they're the longest living adults on the planet. Like, the young ones are 95. So,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
anyway.
awesome.
Well, don't worry, Jason. It doesn't date you because they've, remade it again for the kids.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but that is what
But
happened.
Ericka did.
It is, but I'm just saying Ralph Macchio is the original and the only Karate Kid. Yeah, I don't care who
he's
else
the
you want to put
OG.
there. It is Ralph Macchio. He's the OG.
Yes.
That's right. I feel even older now that I just said OG, but whatever. So yeah, it's great. TQ, when you work with clients who are struggling with self-doubt, how does connection help those clients? Or how does community help those clients grow?
Well, community keeps you from having the conversation with me, myself, and I, right? I mean, when I'm stuck by myself and I don't have a community that's around me, helping me see where things are going well and how to help me lean into those, then I have the conversation. It kind of goes like this. I look at myself and I go, oh man, this is not going to work. And then me jumps in and says, you're probably right, man. And then when it gets to I's like, well, even if I thought something different, you two have already voted. So, what else am I going to do? So it just kind of spirals down because you just have this tunnel visioned aspect. And so without everybody else in the community really helping draw out what those good things are and kind of helping you see how to leverage them, maybe even providing some opportunities for you to do so, it gets real hard without a community that solidly helps you do that.
Yeah. How have we experienced that community kind of shape either your own confidence or the confidence or resilience of someone you know? Like, where have you seen the benefits of those communities versus we've talked a little bit about the detriments of isolation, but let's talk about the benefits of community.
Well, I think you don't have to go through things alone. And just knowing you have a support system behind you, I think helps build your confidence. And then I think having people around you, they see things in you that you don't see in yourself. Right. So they see the positives when, like you said, TQ, if you're talking to yourself and you're going down the negative path, they can bring you out of it because they see good things in you that you just don't. It's hard to see yourself sometimes. So I think having a community of people, like-minded people that you truly enjoy being around and supporting them, and you support them, they support you. It's reciprocal. I think that just gives you purpose. And then it also gives you your confidence back too.
If you're listening right now and you feel alone and you don't know where to start, where would you encourage someone, or how would you encourage someone to go find community?
Think about something that they like to do and go find that, whether it be go take a music class or go dancing, or it just, even if it's the smallest thing, go to a softball league or go to a dog park. Like, what do you like to do that other people are doing? You're going to find it out there. Someone else is doing it somewhere.
Yeah. And don't just do it in the same perspective. Like, I take my dog to the dog park and let the dog do the thing and stand back by the fence and to see the dog having all the interactions with the other dogs. And I'll be like, oh, my dog is having such a great time. And I'm standing by the fence, just kind of waiting. Then I whistle for the dog to come over and then I leave. Actually using those common things to engage people. I know sometimes we can get scared to go in deep, but if you just go in, even if it's surface, it gets you connected and gets you started. you start having the conversations and you start to see where we do have this in common, or they've had that same experience like I've had. What did you do there? And the next thing you know, the conversation can go deeper as you get more comfortable with each other and really start to go, man, this person really gets me and I get them.
Yeah, you don't want your dog building better community than you, TQ.
That's right.
Just say it.
Yeah, and if I can push a little bit, just because we all just talked about being in a space surrounded by people but feeling alone, right? Like, so we know that happens all the time. So maybe think back, when was the last time you made a new friend? And what's that for I think there are people out there who are really struggling. And I think maybe each of us have been there at some time or another where it's like, okay, how do I step out and take the chance, risk rejection to make this friend, to kind of build community, right? Like, it's way easier to watch my dog make community than to actually try to experience it myself. And so what are some practical steps when I'm at the dog park? I appreciate the surface level conversation, or wherever we're going to go to try to discover this friendship. But like, what do I do when I'm there?
Well, I have an example. I mean, I was, newer to the area and found I found a group online actually that it's a bunch of girls that get together and do different activities. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go by myself. Usually I don't like to go to events unless I have like a buddy next to me that'll go with me. But I just went by myself, and it was like this thing where you go and you plant plants and make your own little takeaway plant. I'm like, all right, I know nobody here. The room's full of people, but they put you at tables, and I got next to, a bunch of really nice girls and started talking to one. And then she introduced me to another. And now like the three of us are really good friends. So I think it's easier said than done, but sometimes you just have to put yourself out in the open and being willing to go and be vulnerable. And I think you have to be curious about the other people, ask questions about them. If you're not confident in yourself, go get inquisitive about the other people that you're meeting and start asking them some questions and see where the conversation goes. But definitely not an easy thing to do, but definitely rewarding too.
Was anyone encouraging you to go do that, Kellie?
No, I just said, I don't have any friends in this area and I'm not going to make them if I don't do something about it. So I just went. Yeah, I mean, I was a nervous wreck driving there. I'm at a place I didn't know where I was going. I'm making like these potted plants and I can't keep a single plant alive, but I'm going to go plant one anyways and bring it home. And I don't know. And mine did die, by the way, because I can't keep plants alive. And it was a succulent. Nobody can kill succulents, but I did. So moral of the story is the plant didn't survive, but a friendship did. So there you go.
It's not about the plant.
Kellie, maybe I should introduce you to my wife. You guys could probably be friends, because
There you go.
we buy her Lego flowers now because you can't kill those. So, because she also killed some succulents, and I was like, who kills succulents? So, yeah.
Okay, I'm not the only one. Yay.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that we need to consider when we're kind of breaking in and trying to start these relationships is that there's a lie that says, I'm the only one. And I'm probably not. And so when I feel like I'm the only one dealing with this or going through this thing, then that kind of furthers the isolation. But the majority of the time, what I have found is that when you start to share the experiences that you're going with, even some of the tough ones, people can relate. It's a hard world out there and we're all living in it. And so if we will go ahead and go, you know what? People are people. And I'm just going to kind of jump in and throw some things out there, quit telling myself that, oh, there's not going to be anybody. They're never going to care. I'm the only one like this. I think if we can shake that up, that will help alleviate some of the fear. And I can go ahead and engage with these people where they are and let them know where I am as well.
Ericka, do you need to go to the dog park?
I do not need to go to the dog park
Okay. All right.
right
All right.
now. It's not old enough to go to the dog park yet.
Okay. Speaking of new critters that live in Ericka's house.
Yeah,
So,
what
yes.
was that, Ericka? Tell us
Maybe
all.
at the end I will show you. What I did want to say is that it also takes consistency, right?
Mm.
And I will throw myself out there with this example, but it keeps coming to my mind. My child, when we moved here, I started taking them to it's just like a children's group at the church. One of my kids, he's like totally. First day we're there, he's like, "Can I have the mic so I can sing and lead worship to everybody?" I'm like, That's that kid." Whereas the other one, he's like clinging to me, and it took months, and uh, it, it's very much needing to be consistent. While as there was two things for him that helped to break over that like fear of like I'm meeting these new people, right? Because he is meeting new people too. I want him to meet friends and be in a community where, he's got kids like him that he can talk to other kids and just have friends. Well, back to the snake again. Snuck the snake into church. Little did I know that was worship night for the kids. So here I have this sweater on, snake on me, and I am sweating, but I am jumping, I am worshiping, and my child is seeing me do this, right? And it's like, okay, well, finally we're done. I'm like, oof, nobody saw, thank goodness. Whereas my child's like, Mom, I want to tell my teacher. And so tell the teacher. She's shocked, of course. Well, of course she calls me. I knew I was going to get in trouble for that one. And then, right, it opened up a conversation for her to ask, what reasons is he struggling? And, it took consistency to get there. It took showing him, right? He's got this mom that is willing to do this. While also then other people, I had to be vulnerable now to allow other people into our circle so that they could also help him. So I think that it can be there's multifactorial, and like I consistently had to keep going. He would have just sat in the back and talked to nobody. But it's like, nope, let's just keep going. Let's keep doing this and we'll get there.
And before anybody writes in, no, Ericka does not attend a snake handling church. She got reprimanded for taking the snake to church. So we're not endorsing snake handling churches. You guys do your own thing, but that's not what we're endorsing here. So, yeah. So when you're in those seasons, and I think we're all there, we can talk about our kids being there, but we're in that place where something feels uncertain. It feels scary. We don't know what to do. What kind of support is helpful in those places?
Jason, do you mean just in general when we're going through these things, or do you mean as we're trying to build relationships?
Yeah, I think it's as we're trying to build relationships, as we're trying to, obviously Erica's son's trying to navigate a new place in that space. He's experiencing some kind of transition he's going through. Okay, so this is Ericka gives us random movie quotes that we don't understand or know about from last episode. I'll give you a show and I just keep giving you old references. I think
I'm
about
ready.
Cheers. When I think about connection, I think about Cheers. When the one character, everybody knows what I'm talking about, walks in the bar, everybody yells, "Hey, Norm," because everybody knows who Norm is. But there are other random characters that are floating around in the background that every once in a while in an episode got drawn into the storyline, right? I wonder what it looks like to live or experience Cheers in 2026. Like, we live in this isolated world. TQ, your statement, the statistics stick to it. None of us are alone in this. The numbers are growing about isolation. And so I just wonder, what is the support that you need as you navigate that change, those uncertain times, taking the risk to step out? If there's something we could offer that would be helpful.
Well, I think, and maybe this is just, I think whatever you're doing, whatever transition you're doing or new group you're trying to become part of, I think it helps to talk it out, like to say it out loud. So maybe it's with a loved one or just somebody that knows you and tell them what you're trying to do. Because I think if it all lives in your head and you never get it out, it becomes a problem. But if you get the support from people around you, then maybe you're not as afraid to go out and do some bigger things. And I think it starts too with yourself. You have to have a mindset where you're ready to grow. You're going to try something new and scary, and it could go a couple different ways, but you're okay with that. And you just need, I think the support you need is just kind of either people around you, or if it's a big life kind of change, it's getting support from, maybe it's a mentor or a group or a coach or a colleague, whatever. I think a lot of times people don't know how to ask for support. So I think you need to talk about it and ask.
Having that safe person or safe space to ask. or maybe even just to talk it out with them.
As we kind of been towards wrapping it up a little bit, what's a relationship that you're most thankful for right now? Maybe it's somebody who's been an encouragement to you, someone who's come alongside you when you felt alone. There's someone out there that you just want to recognize in this podcast and say, hey, thanks.
First and foremost has been my wife. I mentioned her before, but she has, we've gone through several different transitions in our life. And every time that I get to experience her I know throughout the whole that she's amazing, but it just gets highlighted every time that we go through something that's tough together. She just shines really bright. And so I'd have to start with her. But I have a group of people that are praying for me. I send a text thread out to them, which I need to update that as I say this, but they know what's kind of going on. They know what's happening with the coaching business, ups and downs I'm trying to do and trying to start this thing. They know kind of what's going on with my family, because just because I'm starting a business doesn't mean that family stuff just goes like smoothly, and I'm able to reach out and let them know things. And even when I don't, sometimes they reach out to me and just tell me what they've been praying about unprompted, which is very cool. And so I would even say, even if you don't believe in prayer at all, just having that group of people that is concerned about you, that you can tap into is worth it. Make your list. It doesn't have to be long, but if you were able to make that list, and those people who care about you, they're your big cheerleaders, want you to succeed, they're the ones who really kind of help me, especially when things get really rough.
Well, I'll back that up, TQ. I think mine starts at home too. It's my wife. She's an elementary school teacher, and we've lived in 5 different states, which means she's had to get 5 different teaching licenses along the way. And, you just think about people who've been through it all with you. For sure, that's her. But I think recently, there's a pastor in town, and her name is Nicole. And we met, and probably 4 years ago, and we just have lunch once a month now. And she's just a source of encouragement. She probably didn't even know it. And then she helps me out with my little side project, Hops and Hump. And so I'm just thankful for the encouragement she provides, and then a myriad of others who I'm not listing. But yeah, thankful for that network and those connections.
I'd also want to add our team here. So for those of you who don't know, you hear us talking, and we went through coaching courses together, but we've never been in the same physical space.
We've never been in the same state.
Right.
Yeah,
All
wow.
of this that we have connected through has been via the interwebs, as they say, and so, and what has occurred as we've thought about coaching, hey, let's do a podcast, is that as we've been doing that, our relationships have been growing. I still think we have more to grow, but I remember a point when we had kind of just gotten into it and just being thankful I had other coaches doing kind of in the same place, trying to figure this thing out, that I could do that with them. Really, I was just trying to start a podcast. And these were the people who came along, and I thought, great, we'll do this together. And I found friends, and that's been really cool. And so something I did not really expect, but it's been growing. So sometimes those people are people you just say, hey, come along with me and do this. And you may find that the relationships really begin to grow as you'll dive in and kind of work together.
Absolutely. And I just want to say that I definitely have some close friends just through the past few years that have been truly, truly wonderful. While right now, I had some tears like inside with both Jason and TQ, just hearing how supportive your spouses are. And it's just truly like for people like me who, don't have that, but just know that it is possible, right? It is possible to have that. So just thank you for sharing that. Well, I want to shout out to my kids, because all of these things about the snake and something I'm going to show you here in a few minutes, they're not possible without them. And so I'm just so grateful for their hearts and where their passions lie. And I just get to watch it grow and have fun with it.
Well, yeah, and then just to round us out, same here. I've been married coming up on 34 years now, and you know, a husband that's watched me leave a lucrative career to say I'm going to be a coach out of the blue. So definitely sticking by me during this whole episode, and then just friends and family. I have a big family. There's 6 kids in our family, and we're all close. And we may not all be close geographically, but yet we are. And then all the new friends that I've met here in the town I'm in now, it's just been, been a nice surprise. So, yeah, and thankful for all of you for sure.
Well, as we kind of wrap up today, I want to leave you with a couple of thoughts. And I want to be careful because I know if you feel alone, easy advice just hurts. And so maybe I'll start with those of you who don't feel alone or you feel like you've got good connections. Maybe look around. Who in your circle doesn't? And in that space, realize that every small choice you make matters. The word of encouragement you speak might actually change somebody's day. The presence you give to someone who's in the midst of hurt and pain might mean more to them than you'll ever know. Listening to their story might actually change their story. And so those lines of connections that we draw are so important. And so if you are alone, I want you to hear me say, you're not alone in that. If you feel isolated, a lot of us do right now. And so I'd encourage you, much like Kellie said, it's hard. Take that step to find that connection. Because the connections we make matter. And I wonder deep down what kind of connections we're actually making. And maybe they're going deeper than we ever thought they would. And if you need some help in that, that's actually what we do. We want to be that place where you can come, you can talk, you can look at where you want to be. And we want to be a conversation partner to help you get there. Whether you're experiencing trauma, you're thinking about career transition, trying to figure out your own self-doubt and where you want to go, or you're looking to discover passion and purpose, we would love to help you get there. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being faithful listeners to Beyond the Questions. Thanks to each of the other coaches. And yes, Ericka, let's see what other animal lives inside your house for those who still watch us on YouTube.
She has
This is a 10.5-week-old cane corso.
That dog's head is as
Cane
big as
corso.
yours.
What's
Yes,
his
it
name?
is.
It is. He's not named quite yet. We're working on that. So,
Awesome.
we're getting there.
Okay.
I just woke
Cute.
him up.
All right.
Oh.
I'm going to throw my name Rufus. I'm going with Rufus. That's my name
No,
suggestion.
we're not
for
doing
you.
any of those like overused ones. Come on, we need something. He's gonna be
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Everybody go buy a puppy if you're lonely. It'll be great. Have a great week, and we'll see you
So.
next time on Beyond the Questions.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beyond the Questions. Be sure to subscribe so that you can stay up to date concerning future episodes. And if you would like to connect with any of the hosts on Beyond the Questions, their contact info is linked in the description below. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next episode of Beyond the Questions.